Well, guys, I got a box of locks from Shring. He sent me several, and here are two of the more interesting ones that came out of that. These are pretty old Sargents. We got the old Sargent logo. You don't see these too often anymore. Very high-quality locks, solid brass body, nice thick shackle. But when you look on the bottom of this, these are also, both of these are removable cores, which is really interesting. This is the large format interchangeable core. And they're a little bit different than the Best and the Arrows and some of those. I did get both keys. Now, this is a really old lock. It's a little bit sticky, but it does work. So here we have an operating key. An operating key is just designed to open the lock. Now, it is, like I said, it's a little sticky. You got to jiggle it a little bit, but it does work. Come on, baby. There, I said it worked. It does. Proof. And thank you for cooperating, sir. And let's try this guy. I'm doubling my chances of failure. This one's a little smoother, though. This one appears to be a little bit newer, and it does hang a little, but it does work. See, it kind of snags there, but it does work. All right, we also have, interestingly, a core key. Now, the difference between the Arrows and the Best locks is that these Sargents are a little bit different. Yes, we have operating key and a control key with the Best, but they both turn clockwise in the same direction, and you can either pick it to the control shear line or the operating shear line. The Sargents are a little different. You turn it clockwise in order to get it open, but when you want to open, or when you want to remove the core, you've got to turn it counterclockwise. And again, it's a little sticky. It did work earlier after I jiggled it. There we go. It only turns that much, so counterclockwise, and then the core comes out. And this guy is all original. Look at that. Nothing's been changed in that. Still got the original stamping on the top of that. So here's the locking mechanism. That's what holds it, just like the Best. I'm going to rotate it back. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get it to go back in. So again, a jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. But anyway, that's what holds it inside of that lock. And there's a little nib sticking out. Let me get the light here. Where'd the light go? On the right side, you see that cut out. So just that wedge of brass is what holds this thing inside of there. Now let's see if I can get it to retract again. Little jiggle in. Come on, baby. There we go. So it did retract back in. Now I'm going to hold that, and I should be able to slide him back inside of there without too much damage. There we go. And then lock it back. Just turn it just barely, like 1/16 of a turn, and he's locked back in there. And again, operating key still works. Well, kind of. There we go. All right, so I've got the same thing on this. It's the same core key or the same control key. This one also a little jiggle, but it works exactly the same way. And this also still has the original stamping from the manufacturer on it. So very cool. They're 5-pin locks. Lock him back. Let's pick one. I'm gonna pick this one because it's easier to hold in my hand. Now the thing about these Sargents, though, when we pick them, normally when we pick Best locks, when we're trying to pick it, because we're picking either the control shear or the operating shear in the clockwise direction, we're fighting that combination of shear lines. If you want an open, you've got to hit all of the operating shear lines. Now, we've only got 5 to deal with. Some of them are as many as 7. So you have to hit all 7 operating shear lines, or in order to pull the core, you have to hit all 7 core shear lines. In this case, because we only have 5, let's take a look, just for fun here. So what we're going to do is hold up these keys. We wouldn't normally have this, but I want to show you the difference in these. Let me get a little pointer, and we can take a look at this key. So in this key, the locksmith chose, when he pinned it up, we have here the same cut. In this one, we have the same cut. You notice in this one, it's a different cut. The core key is cut a little lower. So, and then this one is the same. The operating key is cut a little lower. So that's 2 out of the 5 that are different. And then the 5th cut looks to be about the same. So I think we're good to go here. So 40% of your pins are pinned differently. It could have been all 5, or in the case of a 7-pin lock, all 7. So your chances of hitting all 7 shear lines of the operating or the core are not good. Now remember, you can't mix and match. If you get, say, 4 of the operating and 1 of the control, it will not open and the core will not come out. So anyway, they're a little tricky. The Sargents are different. Because we're only turning it in the clockwise direction to get operating, we're only fighting 1 shear line. If we want to pick it to the control shear line, in other words, take out this core, we have to pick it in the opposite direction. We're actually fighting 2 shear lines. So those 2 different pins, we're gambling. You can eventually do it with only 5 pins and only 2 of them different. Your chances are actually pretty good, but I want a sure open. So I'm going to try to pick it against only a single shear line, the operating, and that will be in the clockwise. There'll be a lot of talking, but if I didn't, I get so many questions about these multi-shear-line locks. So let's see what we got here. Let's gotta get this guy in here. No, not that one. Let's try the 1mm, see if he fits. And he's a little sloppy, but he does. He fits. So let's pick him clockwise. Only fight 1 shear line, and got that nasty piece of warding there, so we got to kind of go around that. Let's try a deep one. Let's try this guy, just in case. No, he won't quite fit. Let's try that medium. There's a medium hook, see if he'll fit. And just shoehorn him around there. I think he'll fit. Maybe not. All right, there we go. Let's call it good. All right, so I'm going to apply moderate tension, just hardly any tension at all, because these are usually made to pretty good tolerances. So there's a little click on 4, little click on 3. It's just like picking any other lock, not a master lock, but, you know, any other lock with only a single shear line. Okay, I'm on pin 5. Get under there. Little click. Pin 2. I'm not going to force that one. Okay, and there we go. Nothing to it. Again, I'm only fighting 1 shear line, so there's no great feat in defeating these. Unlike the best and all of the other multi-shear line locks where all the cores are aligned in only one direction, you got to fight multiple shear lines there. They're quite a challenge to get open, and you never know if you're going to get them open to either the operating or the control. Either one is good insofar as defeating the lock, but if you're determined to get a control, it's not really that easy. Luck plays a huge part in multi-shear line locks. Anyway, guys, there you go. The Sargent large format interchangeable core. Thank you, Shring, for sending it in. These are really cool old locks. Thanks a lot, guys.